giving you the real from A to Z surrounding the Dallas Cowboys. News, updates, rumors, transactions, takes, and more. So strap up, Cowboys Nation, and start your day off with A to Z Sports. Live with Will Steele.
3, 2, 1.
Here we go. Good morning, or is it? Good people. Welcome to A to Z Sports Live. Presented by the Cochran Firm, DFW Turf, and Boston Scientific. I am your host, Will Skywalker. Still. In the words of the great Road Dogg Jesse James. Cut the music. Now cue the music.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
You're not really fine, and they'll never understand. It didn't take long. You know, people hit me up on Twitter. Sky, can you save my sanity today? I'm here to tell you no. I'm not the guy to save your sanity today. I'm not. I'm sorry. I was already putting the Kool-Aid right here. I said they got to give me a reason to make the Kool-Aid and all that good stuff. And that's not what happened. You know, they told me this was Kool-Aid and it was jungle juice. And I left that game punch drunk off of everything that happened. And we'll get to it, Cowboys Nation. I promise you we will. But I appreciate your Bomb Squad for being in the building.
Bomb Squad!
No, I'm not King Element, you know? And I used to be. And you know, when you cover the team a little bit more, you got to be more objective and things like that. Be fair, because I don't want to I don't want to put things out here to you guys that maybe aren't true or what have you. But a lot of things we talked about over the offseason came into play. And my apologies if I'm a little hoarse today. I've been drinking my drink here, trying to get back. It was a long night. Didn't get in until the next day. So we pushing through this thing. But I appreciate y'all for being here. Before we get to this roundup, though, just allow me to just talk. As I said earlier, all the concerns and fears of the offseason basically pulled a usher, right? Watch this. And they showed off. They came in. It started off with your third round wide receiver who wasn't active in a wide receiver room, which isn't that great. All right, cool. Let's see what these young bucks got. We saw what happened. An already banged up offensive line got banged up even more before you got out of the first quarter. All right. Let's see what happens. The offensive coordinator pretty much picked up where he left off, right? I didn't see anything different. You know, we heard about this player and that player. I didn't see anything too different. All right. See what happens. Your quarterback, who's responsible for rallying this jumbled mess, was a jumbled mess himself. And then the poor rookie. And I say poor because, you know, Tyler Smith, you're going to see some good tape from Tyler. You are. When you go back and watch, you're going to see good tape. But it only takes one. It only takes one. And there were two, but it only takes one. And Jerry Jones came out last week and said on Tyler Smith, playing left tackle with no preseason snaps, with no practice. He said, we will pay some price for it, question mark. Yes, we will. And I think that price was paid. It was paid. Now, again, Tyler Smith is good tape. You're going to see good tape. But it only took one play. And the one play was Tyler Smith not getting out of his stance. Everybody else did. Shaq Barrett blows by him. Gets the pressure on Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott breaks his hand. I could have came away from this game like, the offense played like crap. Whatever. Figure it out next week. Let's see what happens. Instead, Dallas has lost Dak Prescott for 6 to 8 weeks. It's not Tyler Smith's fault. It's not Kellen Moore's fault. It's not Tony Pollard's fault. It's not Dak Prescott's fault. It's not CeeDee Lamb's fault. These are all the players who and people who, besides Tyler, I think he had a solid game. It's not these guys' fault. This is your owner, general manager, president, vice president of personnel, player, whatever, Stephen Jones and the Jones boys. They thought they could roll this out. I tell you, they could roll this out and everything was going to be okay on that side of the ball. We knew that wasn't the case. That's why we kept saying, hey, man, this defense is going to have to carry this offense for a little bit here, for a little bit. But I didn't see that bad. Everything that we feared came into play right away. Like a Thanos snap. Offense line injuries, quarterback play, quarterback injury, wide receivers aren't great. Your number one wide receiver wasn't great. Run game, which what you would think would be okay, didn't matter. Offensive coordinator didn't look different. Everything in a snap happened. And we'll talk about individuals. We'll talk about every player as we move forward here. But I wanted to open up with that, and I think it was rightfully so. This is going to go beyond what's on the players on that field. But we'll talk about that in general because we could talk about, and I'm sure we got a lot of callers coming in here. By the way, you can call in 351-999-3787. We'll talk about that, the front office and what they put out there. But tough day for Cowboys Nation. Not even just because of the loss. Again, I could have lived with that. But in the roundup, we'll talk about more injuries and then obviously the big one and where we go from here. So let's get into the roundup, guys. And by the way, if you want to keep up with Cowboys Nation and A to Z Sports Dallas and your boy Sky, just follow this DFW turf ticker down there. The number one artificial turf in the DFW area. Here we go.
It's time! It's time! It's time!
It's time. It's time.
It is time for...
It's time for the morning roundup. Round 'em up, boys.
Hey, yo. You know, we had some real good, Cowboys had some real good injury luck last year for the most part, to be honest. Were guys missing and banged up, in and out, sure. But for the most part, it's fine. Not the case yesterday. Jaron Kearse left the stadium on crutches, and it's considered to be a knee sprain. According to reports, his ACL is intact and is scheduled to get an MRI today. Crutches probably means he's going to be out for a while. Good thing, though, in regards to the safety depth is we feel a bit better about it. Donovan Wilson had an interception. I thought he played pretty dang good. We'll obviously look at the tape later today. Had the pick. You got Marquise Bell, Israel Mukuamu. Again, I was surprised they didn't have either of those guys dressed because of Jaron Kearse's back situation. But nonetheless, he got hurt with something else. So we'll keep an eye on that. Also, Terrell Basham had a lower leg injury that we have to keep an eye on as well. So injuries starting to pile up on the defensive side as well as the offensive side, where Connor McGovern left the game in a boot with a high ankle sprain. So we're probably looking at Connor McGovern being out for the rest of September. So Dallas had to insert Matt Forniak, who, in my opinion, is technically your third left guard. Think about that for a second. He's technically your third left guard, in my opinion, because I think Tyler Smith would have been obviously your starting guard, and then McGovern, and then Fournette. Or if you want to flip it, whatever, McGovern, Smith, Fournette. He's your third guard, period. And he got in right away. And we'll look at some of the tape there, but early reports are that he didn't play that well either. And then the biggest one to come out of the game was Dak Prescott. According to Todd Archer, source close to him, he's getting surgery today. That's not the source, but the source says 6 to 8 weeks on the thumb injury, meaning they will put him on IR, designated to return. So we'll see Dak again, but the question will be, will it matter by that time? Will it matter? You may be favored in 1 or 2 games over the next 6 to 8 weeks. Maybe generous there. Maybe 1 or 2 without Dak Prescott. And of course, Cooper Rush is going to be the guy that takes over the reins moving forward. Not a happy roundup there, Cowboys Nation. Not at all. But we got a lot of super chats. So a lot of super chats. I'll try to read all. Man, was that today? Is this all today? Oh no, that was yesterday. All right. A lot of super chats that we got to read off here. So give me 1 second. We them boys. Trade for Jimmy G, I think is what he said. Let me get back there real quick.
Super chat.
Trade for Jimmy G and go 500 in the next 6 games. I don't think Jimmy G is saving you. We talked about this, and we'll talk about it more if y'all want to. Maybe that could be for tomorrow. We'll go in depth. But yesterday on the post-game show with Jesse Alley, shout out to my brother from another mother. It was awesome to be with him. The game sucked, but it was awesome to be back with him. And we're going to be doing a podcast every Wednesday, about 15, 20-minute podcast every Wednesday, dropping on all platforms. But he posed that question, and I said, sure, is Jimmy G better than Cooper Rush? Absolutely. Is Jimmy G going to save this team with this coaching staff and these players? Absolutely not. He's not.
Super chat.
My bad. Eternal Dynasty. Thank you for the donation. It says, Kellen is just a nerd playing Madden in real life. Kellen isn't a real coach. You know, we thought Kellen had a tough task at hand, and it didn't look great.
Super chat.
Ron says, reminds me of 2000 and 2002 when all we had was defense. It did look that piss poor yesterday.
Super chat.
My guy L84 says, a few positives from last night. Tyler Smith, Brett Maher, Diggs, our inept front office on display in front of millions, and Sky, Jesse, Holly Stream. Salute to you, brother. We tried our best, man, given what we had to deal with yesterday. But yeah, and again, we'll talk about this throughout the day, because a lot of people are in their feels on Twitter. My goodness. If you go look at my tweet, the tweet isn't about downgrading Tyler. But you know, sometimes things go over people's head. The tweet is about your front office. When I say that Jerry said, will we pay a price for putting Tyler at left tackle? Yes. It's not that Tyler played some terrible game. He gave up 2 of the biggest hits on your quarterback, but he didn't play a terrible game. The problem is that price could end up being your franchise quarterback. And that was the price on the play where he didn't get out of his stance. I'm not blaming Tyler for he shouldn't have been out there at left tackle. On no snaps in preseason at left tackle. On no snaps in training camp at left. That ain't his fault. That's your front office's fault.
Super chat.
Sky Toxic says, Sky, time to turn toxic. That's for y'all to. I have to do. Listen, y'all. I got to be here with y'all a lot. Y'all don't want me to be toxic every day. I'm going to tell it how it is, but I'm going to make sure I bring the energy that I bring toxic. That's for you. You be toxic, Tom. Ham Zone 71.
Super chat.
Says, we fooled ourselves. Front office woes continue after 27 years. Hey, man, y'all been listening to me for a while. It's always been, we got to overcome that. That's just is what it is. Okay. We got a lot of calls. We're going to be getting a lot of calls. So we'll try to attack these as we go down. I didn't even really get a chance to go through the game, but I know y'all will help me get through that. So let's go ahead and do it. First up, we got Mr. Wright, I believe, right? Is this Twan?
Yeah, what's going on, Sky?
What's up with you, Twan? Real quick, man. First call, Pulse of the Nation, Cochran Firm. What you got for us?
I'm frustrated, man. I'm seeing the same thing from last year, man. Ezekiel Elliott been averaging 5 point something yards a carry, and we just stopped running the ball and start doing trick
Same
plays,
thing. Trick
trying to
plays.
BQ, losing yards. I mean, Dak didn't have a good game, but we could have ran the ball and made the game way closer than what it was. All these trick plays and penalties from Terrence Steele, man, that's what put us in a hole, man.
Yeah, I mean, you said it perfectly. Picked up right where it left off. 10 penalties. A lot of them were pre-snap penalties. Why are we running trick plays on the first possession of the series is mind-boggling to me when you had a groove going there. But again, that's kind of picked up from last year with your offensive coordinator, Strange. I think Zeke averaged 10 carries for 50-some yards, Joe? Something like that? Yeah, 52 yards. So average 5 yards per carry. His longest carry was 7 yards. But if you could stay in front of the chains, that's all that matters, right? 18 carries for 71 yards total on the night for the run offense. But the problem is, right, Twan, they'll let you get 5 yards. They'll let you get 4 yards. If you can't hit in the passing game, it doesn't matter. Go look at the other side of the ball.
Matter.
Go look at the other side of the ball. Tom Brady, they ran the ball. They ran the ball for 152 yards, brother. They scored 1 touchdown.
Yeah.
1.
It was a lot of quick passes, underneath and running for the first down.
Yeah.
That's all I got, bro.
All right, man. Appreciate you, Twan. That's all my guy, and Mr. Wright. Mr. Wright, Antoine Myers, the first call for today's Pulse of the Nation presented by the Cochran Firm. Got a chance to hang out with one of the 2 headlining attorneys down there. Larry Taylor and Brian Pope was hanging out with Brian and his wife yesterday. It was awesome to kind of kick it with him during the game. It sucked that the game went the way it did, but if you happen to be driving home and you got into an accident because you was pissed and you was screaming at the radio or something else may have happened and you need to call an attorney, hit up the Cochran Firm. All right? Hit them up. They handle all their cases on a contingent fee basis, meaning there is no financial recovery. If there is no financial recovery, then they charge no fee. So contact 1-800-THE-FIRM or schedule your free consultation today at CochranTexas.com. Yeah, Zeke was productive enough, right? 10 carries, 52 yards is technically productive. But much like the other side, which, by the way, my apologies to you, Lenny. Leonard Fournette, 21 carries, 127 yards. It's a damn good day. They scored 19 points. That doesn't surprise me. The Bucs scoring 19 points. I believe that the defense would do enough to hold them to 20 points. That's where I had them at, 20 points. The other side of the ball is what took me by I say by surprise. I figured it'd struggle, but I didn't think it'd be that bad, y'all. I think it'd be that bad. Let's see. Mel. Got Mel? I think this is Mel. What's good, Mel?
It's a beautiful morning, King. It's a beautiful morning, King.
Whoa, beautiful morning. Well, because we woke up, right? But not a beautiful football morning.
Man, this is the best thing possible that could have happened, bro. This is the best thing possible. Outside of Dak getting hurt. I'm
about to say, what the hell are we talking about here, Mel? Explain to me.
Let me finish. The Joneses have to be embarrassed in order for them to see what is really going on, bro. The only thing that's going to ever fix this issue is if they bring in somebody whose main focus is dealing with football. Look at your president of football operations and look at your GM. That's your problem right there. Nothing else is going to fix it.
And you think today or last night is going to change their mind all of a sudden after?
I'm not saying no. I don't think it's going to change their mind. But it might spark. It may spark the idea of Jerry looking at Steven and going, "Hey, son, this shit ain't working. Like this what you tried to do is not working. We got to do something else. And if I need to bring in a football person, I know, but it hasn't been embarrassed. See, Scott, if they would have came out last night and played the Giants on opening night and won that game, Jerry and Steven will go, see, I told you it'll work. I told you it'll work. But they came out on national TV and got embarrassed.
They weren't embarrassed against the Chiefs. They weren't embarrassed against the Cardinals. They weren't embarrassed against the Broncos. They weren't embarrassed in the playoffs. Forget the regular season. They weren't embarrassed then, and they came back and ran it back. And not only did they run it back, they ran it back with lesser talent and told us that, hey, we're going to be fine out there, as if we're not really watching what's going on around the league. So if they weren't embarrassed, when it mattered the most, why would they be so embarrassed that they're going to just change mid-season or whatever in 2022? I don't see that change.
I'm not saying mid-season, but at some point they got to bring in somebody. Jerry's main thing is this is a business for him. This is not his sole job is not making sure the Cowboys win.
I don't disagree.
His sole job is making sure the business is running good. You think I'm wrong about that?
I don't think anybody's saying is disagreeing with that. We all understand Jerry's number one objective as an owner is to be, is to make sure that this franchise, this organization, this business is profiting. Problem is, he's also your GM. Problem is, his right-hand man that he allows to make the most decisions is his son, who is a guy that doesn't believe in the other things we talk about all offseason. He just believes in draft and develop. What?
Exactly.
He's not going to fire his son.
At some point, they have to see that it doesn't work.
He's not going to fire his son. He's not going to fire himself. So what is changing?
I hope that this does spark some idea of we need to bring in a football person to oversee the football operation.
We've been saying
that's the only way things will change.
I know.
And people like, oh, Dak is trash or Kellen is trash. You got to think, man, these people are put in positions to fail. Kellen just got thrown the gun.
It's over for Kellen. Kellen need to go learn elsewhere. If he continues to stay here in Dallas, he would never learn how to be a better offensive coordinator. He just won't.
Agreed.
Gotta get out of here.
100%. Agreed 100% because you just threw him in there to do it. I said earlier, Sky, this wide receiver room is a practice squad.
I mean, technically,
they look like a practice squad.
I mean, and I love Sammy, but Sammy was inactive mostly last year. Dennis Houston's undrafted. Noah was your fifth and sixth wide receiver for years, and that's what we rolled out there. And I'll get to this in a second here, but what happened to Kevontae Turpin on offense? I thought they were going to be using him, and that didn't happen yesterday either. So,
Sky, I asked you over or under 5 touches for Kevontae Turpin on offense. I should have said over or under 1.
Yeah, should have went lower. Yeah. Bye, Mel.
Well, yeah, man. I'm disappointed, but not really. This is kind of what I expected. Saw this coming, but nothing's gonna change until they bring in some football people, man. Until that happens, just buckle up, get ready for the long ride. Peace, brother.
All right, man. Yeah, that's. I mean, this is going to sound very eerily similar to conversations the Cowboys fans and we have had on this channel in March, April, May, and we're in week 1. Hate it. Yeah, so let me get to that real quick. Kevontae Turpin. We heard for the last few weeks, Kellen Moore all giddy about Kevontae Turpin. We saw what he could do from a pass or from a return standpoint. We know he has that type of ability to be shifty and do some things. This is going to sound very, again, I'm just repeating myself, as my guy would say, on the loop. When your offense is struggling, when you're not really getting big plays, when you continue to smack yourself upside the head with penalties, when you don't have the horses to matriculate down the field. You had that last year. You had the horses last year to do that. When you don't have it this year, you need guys, and I'm going to lock these phones up because we're not going to get to all these today. I'm just telling you that. When you don't have the horses, and you got a guy like a Tony Pollard or a Kevontae Turpin or CD who didn't have a great game, but whatever. The guys that you would hope will be the guys to make you get your big plays. You got to find ways to get them the ball because they have to pop one. They do. It got to a point yesterday where it's like, all right, boss. We're not just matriculating down this field. Whether it be because we're shooting ourselves in the foot or whether it be because we just are not in that type of rhythm. So get it to somebody that could pop one, that can make a play. Turpin's one of those guys. And if I may, since I brought up Tony Pollard, is it me or did Tony Pollard have more pass blocking opportunities than he did carries? Once again, Tony Pollard has less than 10 touches in this game. He had 8 touches. Not that he went berserk with his touches. He didn't. But when you, again, cannot matriculate down the field, the Tony Pollards of the world, the Kevontae Turpins of the world are the guys that are going to get you those big plays. I didn't see them put any of them in those advantageous situations. Instead, Kellen comes out and does a razzle dazzle. I don't know what this was. It was a reverse and a double reverse, and then it was the fake reverse. You look like a Pop Warner coach that doesn't know what the hell he's doing. So 2 of your most explosive guys got 8 total touches in that game. In a game where your offense scored 3 points, in a game where your quarterback couldn't hit anything, couldn't find a rhythm, in a game where your wide receivers couldn't get any separation or do anything, in a game where your defense was keeping you in this game, all you needed to do was make 1 or 2 big plays. Your 2 most explosive guys got 8 touches. It's frustrating. It is frustrating. B Bird, what's good, brother?
Hey, what's up? It's good. Everything's good, Scott. Hey, how you doing, brother?
Hanging in there.
Hey, good show yesterday too. I happened to watch y'all, your pregame show and postgame show. So I appreciate you, man.
I appreciate you checking it out. It was a tough one in the postgame show. I have fun in the pregame show. It's always cool before the storm hits. It's always fun, but then when reality sets in, yeah, we got to kind of take off the fun hat and get a little bit serious.
So one thing I'll tell you is that I think me and you were on. We think a lot on. We think a lot the same on player acquisitions because I think that just think about. I think me and you both were excited that the word was out there. We were talking about getting Von Miller in the offseason. That fell through. And then I think me and you also talked about, and I know I said, Julio Jones would have been a great acquisition also. To see what he had left in the tank because of what we had on the team at the time. And just look right now, man, how we'd be doing if we pursued those 2 guys. Julio looked like he still had some juice last night.
Yeah.
And we saw what Von Miller did the other day.
Yeah.
And so, but I think the Jones just kind of thumbed their nose at that thing. They're like, we don't need those guys, And,
wait, hold on. Don't gloss over that. Did you hear did y'all hear what Stephen Jones said after the Rams-Bills game about Von Miller? I don't think enough people talked about this, and I probably won't get a chance to dive all the way into it, but they kind of asked him, hey, man, you saw Von Miller. You saw how great he played. What do you think? And he said, oh, well, those are the type of players that you usually get just for the playoffs. And I'm pretty sure he played that way, and I'm paraphrasing here. He played that way because he had a lot to prove, going up against his former team. Basically, what Stephen Jones was saying was, yeah, he's not a guy we're looking for a long term. Only if we're in playoff contention, and only reason why he played that great was because he had something to prove. Stephen Jones, you're an idiot. Okay? Because the Cowboys were in playoff contention last year, and you didn't go out and get him. And it's insulting to say this Hall of Famer only played that way because he had something to prove. Everybody got something to prove in week 1. I digress, B. Bird. I just thought it was stupid, and he was trying to save himself. But continue.
So another thing before I get to my point, in off season, man, and I tried to tell people be cautious about the Jalen Tolbert hype. I said, man, look, hey, this is a 3rd round draft pick. Hey, if he was that good, he'd be drafted in the 1st round. We actually talk about him as a number 2, and then we talk about John Ridgeway. We had the nickname for him and all that kind of stuff. Week 1, neither one of those guys are active. and what I'm trying to say is you can't get on the hype train on some of these things that these Joneses are putting out there. They're putting these things out there for a reason. Jalen Tolbert, he may be better later on, man, but, Houston, undrafted free agent, made the roster before he did. So some of these things, man.
And he wasn't. He did. And B. Bird. And I tried to say this on the show a few times with you guys, and I wasn't doing it because I have something against Dennis. It's just that I didn't get why everybody was talking about him as if he was out there mossing people. You know what I mean? He was not doing anything spectacular at camp. So it is concerning, B. Bird, when Jalen Tolbert couldn't beat out the guy who really was just ordinary at camp. That was strange to me. And it didn't bode well for the rest of the passing offense when that was one of the guys yesterday. He wasn't a guy. He wasn't, special teams dude, or, he only got 10 snaps. Like, he was out there getting targets. Crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
So one of the things, and we don't, I know it's the season. We talk about these things in the off season, but I have to say this, and this is the last time I'll comment on this. Hopefully this will be the last time. So, me, and I am very much on the side of this organization is just screwed up at the top, and the Joneses and everybody else, say the same thing, right? But then when the season starts, okay, let's just go. But at the end of the day, man, that's like somebody having a terminal illness, and then somebody saying, hey, man, but you got to get your knee worked on. Hold on, man, wait a minute, we got to get this terminal illness worked out first before I get this knee worked on. And so, we got to get this straight because at some point in time, my knee ain't going to matter if I don't get this other thing straight. So what I'm trying to tell you is that, man, the Joneses are the issue with this team, and I feel that way.
I do.
But then you say, okay, and then I made a comment last night on the show. I said, you know who the third most powerful person in this organization is? Kellen Moore. He has more power than Mike McCarthy. And so the whole situation is messed up. But then you say, okay, well, B. Bird, how we know this, but how does it change? Because the Joneses aren't going anywhere. And I've said this before, you have to get a culture changer at the top.
Confrontation.
You have to get someone in here. You have to get someone in here that has enough skins on the wall, that's A-type personality, alpha, that has a reputation throughout the league that says, no, this guy here knows more than you, Joneses. So whenever you try to throw him under the bus, and he has to not come in hat in hand. He has to be wanted by other people in the league. Now, I made a case early in the offseason that I don't think that Sean Payton would come here because of the egos. Because the Joneses really want to get the credit for winning. If Sean came here, then he'd get the credit for winning, not the Joneses. But the only thing that would happen, and when you said about embarrassment, not just that game, it has to be an embarrassing season. It can't be one game. It has to be an embarrassing season.
But we've had those.
For the Cowboys to make a change.
We've had those.
What was that?
We've had embarrassing seasons. I have no idea what it's going to take anymore. Because Bree Burr, how many times have we had this conversation? The two times your organization has taken a turn for the best were exactly the type of coaches we've been talking about for, it seems like 2 years. Not just this month, B. Bird. Me and you have been talking about this for years. Jimmy Johnson, Bill Parcells. Two guys that are not afraid to tell Jerry to shove it, that are not afraid to retire, that are not afraid to be fired, or what have you. Ever since Parcells has left, they got a bunch of dudes in there that won't do that. Now, Sean Payton is a guy that I don't think will come in here and take Jerry's shit. I don't think he would. But will Jerry hire him and then kind of let off a little bit like he did with Bill Parcells, or will he eventually come back in and land a Terrell Owens and eventually that pushes the Sean Payton out the window? So I hope a guy like that could come in because confrontation will help this organization, but maybe they don't even want any more confrontation because they dealt with it before.
I think if Sean Payton takes this job, I think that in itself says that Jerry's back. Sean Payton is not taking this job like McCarthy took this job. He's not going to take this job saying that, hey, yeah, you can take it, but Kellen Moore is going to be. He's not doing. Sean Payton's not doing that because no. He can go to another team for that.
Sean Payton will come in here and it'll be Sean Payton's team. And again, we're getting ahead of ourselves. But what we're trying to say is it don't have to be Sean, in my opinion. It just needs to be a guy that's not afraid to get fired. I don't know how many times I got to say that, but a guy that says, okay, I'm gonna do it my way. If it don't work, fire me. But if it worked, shut the hell up.
But the negotiation has to come. Think about this. No other coach besides Bill Parcells and Jimmy Johnson ever had other options before they came here. All these other coaches come here with hat in hand, just happy they got the job. Whatever you want, I'll take it. I'll take Kellen Moore. I'll take Jason Garrett as offensive coordinator. I'll do that. You got the negotiations have to be at the start. And what you got to say at the start is, hey, look, I can go to Miami. I can go to Jacksonville. I can go here. I can go there. What makes you, Jerry, make me want to come here? Because I ain't got to come here. Yeah, and so that's where the negotiation has to begin at.
Sure, but the problem is Jerry has a big wallet, and that has happened before with Jason Garrett. Jason Garrett was about to be out the door. He was about to be gone, and they said, no, stay here. I will pay you like a head coach to stay here, and you will be this head coach sooner rather than later. He stayed, and he was eventually the head coach. So I hear what you're saying, like you got to have options and things like that. And other bad coaches have options. I think it has to be a coach that is willing to change the entire culture, not part of it, not a little bit of it, not rah-rah, not, hey, I'm going to be hands off. No. He has to be able to change this entire culture of not just the team, but the organization. It has to be teammate, individual. And I don't feel like it is that way right now from the top to the bottom.
But he has to have also the reputation to withstand some media things, because it's going to be stuff to where, it's going to be some, wait a minute, should it be, I brought Sean Payton up. Wait a minute. So Sean said this and Jerry said that. Which one? Wait a minute. But Sean Payton is the offensive guru. He's the Super Bowl winner. He's the NFC Championship. Okay, we're going to go with him. You have to have skins on the wall to withstand some of this stuff, man. Because if you don't have it, then you're gonna be like, well, look here, I'm making $7 million and just go over into the corner and make my money and be quiet and let them run like they want to run. I'm tired of this. I think that's what McCarthy is right now.
That you're not wrong. It helps to have skin. I don't think you need it. I look at a guy like Mike McDaniels. What skins do Mike McDaniels have? He don't need no skins. You know why? Because he's so confident in himself. He knows what he can do. Look now I know it's early or whatever in Miami, but Mike McDaniels has galvanized that organization. He ain't got no skins. He ain't got no skins on the wall. But he went out there, made them go get this person and that person, brought his scheme over there, made his quarterback better. Right? Got his guys riding against him. He understands these dudes. It doesn't have to be the Sean Payton. And I know we're talking about Sean. It doesn't have to be that. It could be a Sean McVay. You know what I'm saying? It could be a Kyle Shanahan. None of these guys had head coaching experience, and they came in here and they excelling. I know Mike is early, but excelling as head coaches because they know what they trust and believe and know that their system works. Skins on the wall is not good. Mike McCarthy has skins on the wall.
Scott, the thing is that what we're talking about, you're talking about those guys in a normal organization. We're talking about people that could, this is a given in this organization that Jones is going to be there. There was a normal organization where a person could go in and bring their philosophy.
But what I'm saying, B-Bird, is bring that same mentality to Dallas and say, fire me or don't hire me. That's what I'm saying. Like, you don't have to be an older coach to do that. You can be young and good and bring that same thing. Hey, this is what I'm doing here. If you don't want it, don't hire me. Sean Payton going to do the same thing. This is what I'm bringing here. If you don't want it, don't hire me. Right?
Yeah. But, okay. So I get what you're saying, and Scott. I just want to look, and I'm gonna get off, man. I just want to call and just tell you that, because what it is, man, and this is my final statement, is that we could change out the players, we could change out the coaches, and all that stuff. This is a cultural issue, man. I know 100%. We talk about these things in the off season, but it comes back to this regular season, man, and it shows its ugly head right there. We got an offensive coordinator that's here that never earned any. Look, you got an offensive coordinator that did not earn the position. You have Stephen Jones that did not earn a position, and you got an owner, a GM, They did not earn a position. You got a lot of people in place that did not earn their position, and that's why we're in the situation that we're in right now, man. And I'll tell you what, man. I'm gonna get off the horn, man, and continue to listen offline, man. I appreciate the time, brother.
Thanks, B-Bird. And I told y'all, this is what today is gonna sound just like April, May, June, March, and it's because everything that we talked about, being the concerns, the approach to come into the season, it all played out early. It all played out early. Whew, we got a lot. All right, we got Brandon. So we're going to do Brandon, 100 grand, Danny Lowe, set it off. That's going to probably... What's good, B?
One, we already talking about it, my G.
You heard what I said earlier in the show? I don't know if you was here earlier, but I was like, that didn't take long.
I'm sitting there listening, dog. I'm like, damn, we already on the Jerry, and we need football people talk. I'm like, damn.
I know.
Man,
I set it up.
You, folks?
I set it up. I said it's going to happen, bro, because of how yesterday played out. It's going to happen, and I don't blame y'all. I don't blame me, because we are where we are because of the way we approached it. B, we are. That's where we're at right now.
You know what it is, though, man. This is what I was saying a couple months ago when I called you. I was just like, Scott, I'm not having no expectations. I'm not going to let them do that to me this year. I'm just going to sit back and I'm just going to watch game by game and just let it play out, because I already have a feeling on what's going to happen. And aside from Dak getting hurt, it actually pisses, like, I'll hate to see Dak get hurt, because I don't want them to think that they had a plan with Dak getting hurt, and they're going to fall on that excuse, so we didn't have our quarterback for 6 to 8 weeks. That pisses me off. I wish Dak could have stayed in there, and I would just wish they went 6-10 and just get it over with, just get the season over with like that, because that's what it looked like last night, bro. I was sitting there watching. I was like, when the hell did Dennis Houston become, I hate to say it, like, when did he come this fucking Amari Cooper? Like, all the damn confidence that...
Fourth and 2. Fourth and 2. Game on the line. You went to Dennis Houston.
Yo. Dak Prescott, and I'll give the Joneses credit for this. They knew Dak Prescott, as much as you want Dak Prescott as your quarterback, they knew he wasn't. They didn't want to pay him like they paid him, because they didn't feel like he's that guy to carry these dudes.
Let me ask you something.
A part of me feels like...
Let me ask you something. Oh. Who in the... Hold on. Don't blow by that. Who on God's green earth is carrying these dudes to a championship? Please enlighten me.
Nobody. But I'm saying...
Okay.
I'm saying, I don't understand. What I'm trying to say is, they keep thinking Dak Prescott sometimes can be. You know what they threw out there before they got Amari Cooper, and that failed. And they saw that Packer game. What was it, in 2018 or 2016 or whatever it was? And they were like, "Oh, we did this without Dez Bryant," and so that put that bug in their battery in their back, that Dak Prescott could go out and just get a bunch of nobodies and carry teams.
Like, how can?
But why do they do it?
Why
I
would
don't know.
you think?
Understand
why would they think? And I love Dak. I love Dak. But why in the world would they think Dak Prescott, who is not who is not Tom Brady, who's not Aaron Rodgers, who's not Patrick Mahomes, guys who still needed dudes, could just roll up with Dennis Houston, Simi Fehoko, Noah Brown, and be like, yeah, those extra guys.
Noah Brown had 10 targets last night.
Oh, by the way, and Kellen Moore, I gotta add him into that equation as well. Tom Brady literally left the Patriots because of what they was doing. Who? Neil Harry? That's what y'all got for me? Bye. I'm out of here. And one to a team with Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, Antonio Brown, Rob Gronkowski, O.J. Howard, Brait, and added more dudes to it. But somehow, some way, who, by the way, Dak played a terrible, shitty game. These fools thought Dak Prescott was supposed to carry them.
Hey, get it out, Sky. It's all right, my G.
It's so mind-boggling to me that they go on the radios and they say, well, $40 million, he got to. That's not how this league works. Patrick Mahomes is an alien. I'm sorry, B. I'm going to let you go. Just let me go. Patrick Mahomes is an alien. They traded Tyreek Hill and said, oh, no. We're not just about to roll out with what we got. We ain't about to roll out with our undrafted free agent. We're going to go get Juju. We're going to go get MVS. We're going to go draft Sky Moore early in the first or second round, whatever it was. We're going to continue to put top-ish talent, say tier, because those guys aren't number one wide receivers, but they're a bunch of number twos. I'd take a bunch of number twos right now. I digress, B. It's just, that's silly to me, man. Dak Prescott is not that guy. We get it. But he's also, nobody is that guy to take this situation to the promised land.
Well, apparently the Joneses crazy asses thought that, and I don't know what the hell. It's just frustrating, man, from that standpoint, because it's like all of the concerns we had in the offseason, it came out in one game from an offensive standpoint. One game, not over the course of 8 weeks, bro. One game. Kellen Moore. I just started laughing last night. I was like, did he really just call it double reverse?
On the first,
I'm like, this is the same dude that ran a hook and ladder on the second play of a playoff game. I was like, you can't make this shit up. I'm like, this is what we've been waiting all season for Kellen Moore to show us. Him and Mike McCarthy in the lab. What Jerry Jones said, we're going to take all of Mike McCarthy and we're going to put into Kellen Moore. Pause. And
pause.
This is what y'all came up with. It's just, this is why I told you, I said, man, they not going to get me this year, bro, because when you sit here and you look at this crap, it's just like you don't trust them. But I hate that Dak got hurt because I want them to fall flat on their face so they can fix
That's
it.
interesting. That is a very interesting
structure.
Did you say they don't trust Dak?
Huh?
Did you say they don't trust Dak?
I don't trust. No, I didn't say they didn't trust Dak. I don't trust them.
Oh, I'm about to say I think that's the opposite. I think they trust him too damn much.
But it's like I just don't get it, bro. It's just like this is what we on, man. It's like I call with a whole different, you know what I'm saying? But I'll get to it later on in the week, man. Listening to you funny as hell sometimes, man, when you just get it all out. But
hey man, hashtag Angry Sky kind of came out there.
Hey man, it's just one of those things, man, where it's like this is what we gonna be dealing with.
It is, brother.
I just hate that got hurt because I wanted him to be on the field.
That was our hope. I mean, the hope has been lost for a while now. Let's just be completely honest. Let's be honest.
And now we gotta deal with the excuses, man. And it's just
all right, B. But let me keep it moving, brother.
All
right, we got a lot, man.
All right, G.
I appreciate you, dog.
All right, my man.
Let me get. It's been a while since I seen 100 grand up in here. That's why I want to get him in here before he dip. What's good, 100 grand?
Man, it ain't good at all, Scott.
No.
Ain't good at all, man. You can't even use that as an excuse because we had 3/4 of the
the offense was terrible before the injury. Right?
If Dak would have never got hurt, these questions would still be asked. We're wasting this defense, man. We're wasting. Why we got Dan Quinn for? This defense is magical. We could have won that game if Amari Cooper was there. If Amari Cooper and Cedric Wilson was there, and we still had that number one offense, we would have blew them boys out.
Yeah.
But, you don't think we would have blew them out? The way the defense was playing?
I mean, if we had the same exact offense.
You hold Tom Brady to like 9 points. I don't even think they get that touchdown if your offense could get some long drives. We couldn't do none of that.
Yeah.
But it's Stephen Jones' fault because Oh, man, I want to be Cat Boy. Oh, man, I want us to be good for a long period of time. We don't want to pay nobody. We don't want to do – that whole philosophy has to go. That don't want to pay nobody, and we're going to put this guy on the team because he's cheaper. And we're going to put this guy on the team because he's cheaper and he's a bargain and all this and that. That's why we didn't get Julio, because he wanted more money. That's why
he wasn't even expensive.
Come on, man. That don't work in the NFL, dog. You got to pay players.
Yep.
You can't just put college players out there and think it's going to work. No. Why did Dak elevate Randall Cobb? Randall Cobb was a veteran. That's why. You know what I'm saying? Why did he elevate Amari Cooper? Because Amari Cooper was in the league a couple of years before he even got the doubt.
Yep. I'm glad you brought that. Hold on. Glad you brought that point up, because I think it was a while back when we said we potentially will be running out one player, who has a catch opposite of CeeDee Lamb, and that was Noah Brown, who was historically a 5 or 6 wide receiver in his 6-year career.
In the words of Bubba Dub, Noah Brown is trash.
But, you know, the only other, I don't know their exact situation at wide receiver, but the only other team I could think like that has a franchise quarterback that most believe in, that ran out a similar situation, also got the brakes beat off of them, and their wide receivers didn't play up to par. And I'm talking about Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. Oh, guess what? They kind of had a similar philosophy. You know what? We got Aaron Rodgers. We don't need to go bring back now Devontae Adams. They tried, but Devontae Adams left. But we don't need to go out and replace that man with anybody. We got Aaron Rodgers. And Aaron Rodgers was about to rip off Watson's head when he dropped that wide open pass yesterday. And they only scored 7 points, and he had a terrible game. Are we shocked? Offensive line problems, wide receiver problems? Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers complained, and the media bashed Aaron Rodgers. You got to be a better leader than that. You can't embarrass some young kids. Aaron Rodgers know what he's talking about. Dak Prescott ain't going to complain. And that's a problem in Dallas, too. That's the issue right there. If you complain in Cowboy land, you are gone.
Mm-hmm.
That's why the coaches don't want to speak out and do what they want to do. That's why the players, they shut their mouths and they don't want to speak out. Because if you speak out against what the Joneses want to do, they will find a way to get you out of the door. And that is the issue and problem. And that's why they say don't blame Jerry, don't blame Steven. You got to blame them boys, because if you speak out against what they want to do, you're gone. And that includes the coaches, too. I'm telling you right now, that includes the coaches, too, not just the players. Do you notice? You don't notice that?
I'm just letting you talk, man. Go ahead, get your take off, because we're about to keep it moving here in a second.
You know, it's just ridiculous, man. All I can say right now is, next show, man, who's the top wide receivers in the draft? Because that's where we headed, dog. The draft. It's over. It's over.
It's over. He said it's over already. All right, 100 grand. I appreciate the call. Good to hear from you, man.
No doubt, man. No doubt.
Yeah, I think a lot of Cowboy fans are feeling that. Somebody said, though, what if Will Greer goes ham and we're 6-1 week 7? Do we bench Dak Prescott? Yo, y'all hypotheticals are killing me. That would be nuts. Because yesterday in the post-game show, and by the way, that's a fantastic comment to bring up for this kind of transition there. In the post-game show, I said this to Jesse. I hate to say this, and it's scary how eerily similar this is. But Dak is basically turning into Tony Romo when it comes to these injuries. This is now 4 years in a row where we're dealing with something. 2019, it's the shoulder. 2020, obviously, it's the ankle. 2021, it's the calf and the shoulder. 2022, now it's the thumb. And a lot of these things are freak situations, but they continue to happen. The same thing happened with Tony. It's a collarbone. It's a broken thumb. It's a back. It's a back. It's a lung. It's just always something. And I think we now have to approach this quarterback situation in regards to the backup, like we did with Tony. We kept surrounding Tony with, veteran guys that have played in this league that we think or hope could come in and win you a game or two. Technically, Cooper Rush did that last year, but, he's going to now need to be relied on for the next, 6 to 8 weeks. But I truly do believe that's what we're morphing into with Dak Prescott, is be prepared for something. He's going to get hurt. That sucks, but that's the truth. And so I appreciate you for that hypothetical there. Eagles are trash. I'll actually dub that this week's fan focus comment, or this morning comment of the morning, presented by Boston Scientific. Diabetes, heart disease, and prostate cancer procedures can contribute to ED. Many men aren't aware of this or all of the treatment options that a board-certified urologist can offer. So to understand your options and learn where you can find an ED specialist in your area to help, visit edcure.org to get the facts and find a urologist who can offer treatment options when others do not work. Again, that's edcure.org, sponsored by Boston Scientific. Let's take a little quick water break here.
You're listening to A to Z Sports.
Do it live!
At some point, hoping to broadcast
in front of the millions
of Cowboys fans to bring you the real. But for now, strap up and here's your host, Skywalker Steele.
I'm Luke Skywalker. I'm here to rescue you.
We'll do it live.
I can always count on y'all for a laugh. I swear that dude in the Boston Scientific ad looks like Sky if he aged properly. Hell no. Hold on real quick. Hold on. Wait a minute. Man, get the hell out of here. King Element, get the hell out of here, dog. Y'all wild, man. Y'all wild. CT said, so Dak can't just hand the ball off? Nah, man. And this is the problem with being we weren't even predominantly a run team yesterday, but we figured this is what we were going to have to do, is morph into more of a run team because you don't got those weapons just quite yet. And I don't think Michael Gallup is saving you in this situation anyway, but he'll be back shortly. But you still need the passing offense to execute. And y'all were here. Shout out to, it's about 800 of y'all in here total. Y'all were here over the offseason. Y'all were here when I was at camp. Y'all were here when I went to Dallas and Oxnard. I didn't come on here sugarcoating anything. I said, yeah, some dudes are getting off in these one-on-ones. Sure. Some guys are making routine catches. Sure. But when the offense gets into team drills, I hadn't seen anything from the passing offense that got me excited. I didn't, which is why I was like, they're going to have to lean on scheme and lean on this ground. And yesterday, both of those things weren't great. I get Ezekiel Elliott at 5.2 yards per carry. I get that. I get it. But the scheme and the run game in total were just not enough to keep this offense on track. And then you can't obviously look sideways to the penalties. My cousin, listen, I went back. I did a quick watch just to focus on the offensive line from the broadcast view. I obviously will get I'll get the all 22 today probably, and we'll look at the film. Listen, Tyler Smith, Terrence Steele, in totality, it wasn't like these dudes were just getting abused out there. That wasn't the issue. The issue is my man Terrence had 4 penalties, and 3 of them was pre-snap. You cannot do that. I gotta demote you to my third cousin. You worked your way all the way up to my cousin. Now you're my third cousin now, because you can't have 4 penalties. Tyler Smith played a good game for the most part. We can't allow a free rusher to hit your $40 million quarterback. And then you can't be late off the snap. I mean, he didn't even come out of his stance and allow another free rush to your quarterback that got his thumb injured. You do have to judge these offensive linemen. I think we bringing this up a lot. Hey, it's not the 2 or 3 plays. It's the 65. Here's the problem. Those 2 or 3 plays combined from them two hurt the Cowboys immensely. Immensely. God damn, cuz. He had 5 penalties. That was a hurt piece, man. Who else was up next? Danny Lowe set it off. Then we got some numbers I'm not familiar with. Oh, hold on real quick. 6 to Midnight said you were all about Simi. Don't lie, Scott. What you mean? What am I lying about? I absolutely was all about. I said Simi should be getting a wide receiver 2 looks. He didn't yesterday. You know who did? Noah Brown. Simi Fehoko had no targets from Dak Prescott. None. He got 3 targets from Cooper Rush when he came in the game late. I'm still about Simi. I'd rather Simi roll out there 6 to midnight than Noah Brown. And I will still stand on that. So what you talking about, bruh? What's good, Platinum? And even if Simi rolls out there, that ain't enough. I digress. All right, Danny, now you can go.
Good morning, Sky. Good
What's up,
morning. Reality just called up. Listen, we can't blame Dak. Jesus at quarterback was not going to win that game last night. It starts with the fan base. We're loyal to a losing organization. My father is 80 years old. He has the Cowboy star on his forearm, and he says it the
Shout out
best.
to your pops.
It's not even enjoyable watching Dallas play.
What?
For all the young cats that think Jerry is going to change, Jerry fired a guy that won back-to-back Super Bowls. He's never going to change. It's never going to change. And I agreed with one call about 2 calls earlier. I'm pissed off because now they have an excuse.
Yeah.
Because Dak got hurt. If Dak was healthy, this is a 6-11 team. I said it. I said Dak's not going to last 17 games behind that O-line. He didn't last
He last one.
He didn't last one.
Danny.
Let's be honest.
He didn't last one. Jesus Christ.
And Terrence looked like Terrence.
No, he didn't. No. No. Hold on. And that's why I went back and watched this game. I said, let me focus on this damn offensive line real quick because it's hard to watch it and focus on one thing when you're there. I purposely went back. I promise you. Your right tackle and your left tackle, if you take away those damn penalties, but you got to kind of include those, right? My laptop about to die. If you take away the penalties, but you can't. But from the actual play, Terrence Steele was not no piss poor right tackle. He wasn't. Left tackle wasn't a piss poor left tackle. The problem is those 2 or 3 plays a game actually did cost Dallas in some of those situations. So I will let you go. I just want to correct you.
Gotcha.
It was the false starts and the holding that got Terrence on the run game, but it wasn't just flat out him getting owned. But I digress.
We also get killed up the middle. I go to the bathroom. I come back. I see McGovern gone. I'm like, Jesus, already. I said this a few weeks ago. You're going to see Isaac Alarcon on this offensive line. Dallas went into we spoke about this. The weakest position on this team was the O-line. How do you put the weakest position on this team behind a $160 million quarterback? Now, I'm just going to go to the defense real quick. Besides Micah and Donovan Wilson, let's put this in perspective real quick. This defense looked like the San Fran game. Just let me finish for a second. We got gutted by 4 rookies. 4 rookies on Tampa Bay's offensive line, and we got killed by a Brady whose wife left him. He has an empty house with 4 rookies. We made Leonard Fournette look like Eddie George last night. Micah cannot do anything. And we had this call a couple of weeks ago. Besides Ridgeway in the 5th round, what did we choose sitting out there? Nix or Hicks or whatever his name was. Philly signed. We spent nothing. I wish we would have signed Julio. We got nobody at wide receiver. We got.
Oh, wait. You said you want to do defense. Let's stay on the defense.
Okay, then my second question. What happened to Micah Parsons 2.0?
That's what I wanted to ask you about. Oh no, Jabril didn't even suit up, first of all, so he didn't play. That's another strange thing.
What I'm saying.
But hold on. Before we move on, you said Micah didn't do nothing last night?
No, Micah did great. Did great, but
okay.
Micah can't do it by himself.
Okay, I said
Micah played good. I said, but Micah can't do it alone. We're wasting this kid. We're wasting him.
Danny, before you move forward here, if I told you I went into this game and said Tom Brady is going to score 1 touchdown, Tom Brady is going to throw an interception, he's going to be 18 for 27, and they're going to score 19 points, would you say that is good enough to win the football game?
Let me just
answer the question. No. Answer the question. Answer the question.
Last week I said no.
No, okay.
Because last week the score I predicted was 17-14. I predicted a low scoring game.
Okay.
I didn't see Tom Brady lighting things up.
But wait, Danny, go rewind what you just said. You said Tom Brady lit us up. You said Tom Brady lit us up. You said you're basically questioning the defense right now, which, hey, they weren't perfect last night, Danny. I agree. You literally came on here and you okay. If I told you the run defense gave up 127 yards to Leonard Fournette, 1 touchdown in the entire game.
154 yards.
You're talking about reverses. You're talking about reverses to two wide receivers. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about Lenny. The other dude got 6 carries for 14 yards. That ain't shit. Leonard Fournette is what got you. It wasn't nobody else but Leonard Fournette.
He killed us last night.
And they scored 1 touchdown. So my point is, I will let you get 127 yards if you're going to score 1 touchdown. You just started this thing though about the defense, and you said, "Well, let's talk about the defense." So I'm getting back to the defense. My question to you is, if I take this performance in mostly every game where you only give up 19 points and 1 touchdown, I will take it every single week. 19 points is a top 3 defense scoring wise in the league. And your gripe is about the defense?
We played against 4 rookies last night. 4 rookies. I'm talking about our run defense. Our run defense looked like the San Fran game. You're going to tell me we didn't get bullied?
No. Listen, I'm not disagreeing that the run defense needs to tighten up. But you came on here and you were talking about the total defense. So I just want to point out to you that the total defense gave up 19 points and 1 touchdown. That should be more than enough, because you're not going to have that's the problem when you lean on a defense. It needs to be perfect. So because they weren't, you're bitching about the one thing they weren't perfect at when they're not the reason why you lost that football game. But all your energy is focused on this damn defense. They ain't the reason you lost the game, Danny.
The reason we lost is on top. The reason we lost, and I said that from the get-go, it starts on top. And this is, like I said, and the sad part is, Stefan, when Jerry's long gone, Stefan is going to be worse. We're setting Dak up for failure. I don't see them giving him a second contract, because they're going to say, oh, he's injury prone, he's this, he's that. And this is going to be, I'm going to say this comment here.
He is.
You're right. And I'm going to say this comment here, and I'm going to hang up. And this is what's going to piss me off the most, is we're going to lose the next 8 to 10 games, because Jerry Jones math, 7 weeks is like 12 weeks, 14 weeks. That's Jerry Jones math. So then we have a really easy second half schedule. So Dak is going to come back healthy, and we're going to go. This is a very, very, very heavy quarterback draft. I'm not saying we draft one, but we can I apologize for cursing. We can fleece another team for a load of draft picks. But we're going to be having a top 5 draft pick.
Dallas fleecing
the team. And then they're going to throw Dak in. And they're going to throw Dak in, and he's going to win 4 or 5 games. And that top 5 pick is going to go to 12. That's the most part I'm going to be pissed about. I apologize for ranting. I'm just pissed off because everyone saw this coming. But think about this, guy. Guys get paid millions of dollars in that organization. to sit in rooms and say, yeah, I think that's a good idea. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. And regular guys like us, our heads would explode if you think that's a good idea. It's like I said, until these guys are gone, the stadium was packed last night. They don't care. It's all about money. And now, like I said, they have an excuse.
Yeah.
And I'm gone and I'm pissed off.
We all are, brother.
It's frustrating.
It is.
It's the best word. It's frustrating. You know?
It is, Dan.
So,
I'm right there with you. It's very frustrating.
Let's see you guys later at 306, man.
That'll be interesting.
It's gonna be a lit show later on. It's gonna be. I was in rare form last night.
All right. See you, Danny. Appreciate you, dog. I lost my damn thing. Let's get to set it off, Chris, man. What's good? Set it off, Chris.
Hey, won't they do it? Hey, did they do it? Woo! Woo!
Hold on. Time out. You sure this ain't JR? This ain't James? James Reynolds?
No, man. Hey, man. Hey, all I'm saying, man, is, hey, I have enjoyed this whole time just sitting on home listening to this, man, because, bro, I'm telling you, man, I think the highlight of my night last night is I got to become Facebook friends with Short Dog. I swear to God, this was the best thing ever for me.
He got a Facebook.
Yeah.
Okay, I got to check that out.
Yeah. We'll do that on the backside.
What you got for us?
That's what we'll get that. But, hey, man, listen, you know, A to Z Sports flew you out to Oxnard.
Mm-hmm.
You got up at an obscene hour to do a show for us, man. And there was never a time you lied to me or this nation or the people who follow you, man, and said, yo, this wide receiving core is incredible. Man, there was no separation. Rain was forcing the ball in the window that, man, nobody could get out of. This thing was terrible. If you would have told me coming into this game that you were going to throw the ball 42 times to this wide receiver core, man, I'd have cussed you out, man.
And I can't wait to see the bird's eye view, because I mean, from the broadcast view, from what I could tell, they did a lot of max protect, 2 guys out in a route into a sea of 7.
2 guys out in the route.
And
I
can't explain how dumb that is with this team. They tried this last year, against the Saints, and it was awful.
Yeah.
At the first half, the same thing. They were sending CD Lamb, and I think it wasn't even Amari, because Amari wasn't playing as much, but it was mostly CD Lamb and Michael Gallup into a sea of 7, and was like, beat us. Dak has to make and he wasn't making good decisions yesterday, and he was, trying to fit it in tight spaces, and a whole bunch of that pump faking and that jerking because he wasn't confident in that window.
Right.
Anyway, go ahead, man.
No, man. I mean, dude, we watched it. I turned around it because we are all gluttons for punishment. I wouldn't watch the same thing over third play of the game. You're doing a reverse. What are we doing, man? This was like the same. It was like the same recipe from the playoff game. You did the same thing in the playoff game. Third, fourth play of the game, you're trying to trick play when you're already making plays. You're already making plays. Dalton Schultz is a really good pass-catching tight end. He don't want to block. It's obvious on the little screen pass outside. I mean, it wasn't anything that Tampa did that was so amazing. They just went and said, hey, we're going to run the football.
Oh, it's
we're going to be consistent. No. We're going to run the football. We're going to be consistent about running the football, and that's what we're going to do. Go ahead, bro. I'm listening.
No, I was saying defensively, they didn't do anything spectacular. They did exactly what other teams did to the Cowboys last year. They said, okay, we're just going to drop back 7. We're going to rush 4, drop 7. Right. And then when we do send 5 or 6, we're going to, for whatever reason, I had this in my notes, for whatever reason, when they decide to send an extra guy, somehow, some way, he almost seemed to always end up on Tony Pollard. And Tony Pollard did not step up from a pass blocking standpoint. Again, I felt like TP was blocking more than he was out in routes. It was weird. It was a strange situation, man.
Dude, he was coming free, and they was throwing Tony like he was a rag doll in the pass game, man. And it was his pass pro is not his forte.
And I'm the type of dude, and I'm the dude, set it off, Chris, that's like, hey man, Tony Pollard, and he's not that bad as a pass blocker. But that don't mean I want to see him pass blocking 7 times. Like, that's not what I'm getting at. 1 or 2 times, sure, but it was bad, man. It was bad for him yesterday in that department.
Yeah, hey man, listen, this is overreaction Monday, and all the different things that B Bird and Danny was saying, that everybody's saying, a lot of those things ain't gonna change. They ain't gonna fire themselves. Why? Yeah. You wouldn't walk out no multi-million-dollar business. You wouldn't do that. That daggum, I told you, the pro shop was jam-packed on Friday. Guess what? You gonna go, as much as you hate it, you gonna go buy a Dallas Cowboy hat. You gonna go buy a T-shirt. You gonna do something affiliated to put money in these folks' pockets. So that's not gonna change for us. The thing about it now is I am back on right brick on my brick.
Ooh,
I am in full
early.
I am in full because there is no need for me to rush guys back that I got to pay that I can't get rid of. I don't need to rush back Rain because I still got to pay him. I don't need to rush back Michael Coward because I still got to pay him. You know what I'm saying? There's no need for me to rush those guys back. So, it's going to be the Cooper Rush.
Yeah, this is crazy.
Will Greer. Hey, dude, I'm just being honest with you, man.
No, I'm not saying you're crazy. I'm just speaking out loud, thinking about a comparison I'm gonna get to. But I'm gonna wait till you get off the phone.
Yeah. No, we got 16 more of these. In the next 16 games, you tell me what we think.
Yeah, man.
So, man, just give me the drop. Just give me the drop because I'm not okay. I think I'm okay, but I'm not okay. But I'm okay.
I lost my damn thing.
And yeah.
All right, man. I appreciate you setting off, Chris.
Yeah, man. Hey, man, I hit you later, man. But man, listen, bro. We gonna ride this thing out because we always have, we always will. We love this football team, and that's what we do.
Hey, win, lose or draw, man, I'm here for it all.
That's right. That's it, man. This thing is over. Holler at you later, bro.
All right, bro. What I was gonna get at, but I didn't want to say it because I've been on the phone with Chris for another 15 minutes. As he was talking, I was just sitting here thinking about how, again, I compared the Tony Romo, Dak Prescott injury situation, but now I'm going to compare a season. This could be similar too. I think it was 2015. Now we're 1 game in front, so this happened 1 game earlier, but nonetheless, early in the season, the Cowboys lost Tony Romo to the Eagles in week 2. I think they were 2-0. Believe it or not at that point. But anyway, they lost Tony Romo early in that season. Backup situation wasn't the greatest. But your defense was still a strength. The defense wasn't a terrible defense that year. It was actually a pretty solid defense. And the Cowboys went on to go what, y'all? 6-10 in that season? 6-10? I think it was 6-10. Was it 6-10? Yeah, Tony came back and he broke it again. Yeah. Then they won 6-10 in that season. So I wonder if this kind of plays out that way. Quarterback gets hurt early. You got a strong defense. It's not going to be enough. The offense was terrible that year. I mean, from a player standpoint, because I think Des Bryant got hurt too in week 1, so he missed large majority of that season. And the wide receiver group was just not the greatest. DMC had a decent year. Don't get me wrong. He absolutely had a decent year, so I'm not going to come at DMC too much. Joe Randall were your guys, so your running game was still not terrible. Not supposed to be terrible now. The difference is I think that offensive line was, that offensive line was much better than this offensive line. But it's just scary how similar things are over the last 15, 20 years with this organization. 4-12? Okay, we ain't even go 6. That's right. Because 4-12 got us the top 4 pick. So we was even worse than 6-10. Jeez. Nah, I have faith in Cooper Rush. I mean, y'all gotta have faith in Cooper Rush. I'm gonna push for him. I'm gonna hope he go out there and get the W. All right, Los. The last caller that I'm familiar with, and we get to some of these other. I think my guy from Reading I'll get to next. I know him. What's up, Los?
Good morning, Sky. Man, I'm not even going to funk it, man. We should not be surprised about the loss to Bucks, but it's how we lost.
Yeah, it's not.
We never showed any promise offensively at any moment during the game. And 3 points. 3 points is what we got hyped about all year. And this lack of urgency is what bothers me, Sky, the most. Knowing your window. You would have thought after a loss to San Francisco, being a favorite in that game, to go to the NFC Championship in 20-plus years, you do these moves in the offseason. You let go Cooper for a bag of chips, and you see what other teams got in return for their number one. Number two, you let Randy and Vaughn walk away from these contracts that were almost signed. And at one point, these two players wanted to play for the Cowboys. And we'll see how Randy looks. But, man, it ain't looking good for Steven, I'll tell you that. And I'm sorry if I'm worked up.
No, you are good, brother.
Not doing anything to prepare in the trenches and to protect your investment. And y'all hit it on the head last night. This is turning into a Tony Romo situation. Tony Romo, people forget, he never had a good offensive line until we, got him a good offensive line when it was too late with his health. And maybe this time off he'll heal his ankle as well. Because even before his injury, Sky, he was not himself. Like his motion, his foot movement, I don't know what it was. But Dak was playing terrible. I cannot, say that he wasn't. And whether that be Kellen or Dak, we'll see, especially these next 8 weeks. Not to look ahead, but most of these teams are playing for playoff aspirations or division wins.
Everybody's playing for playoffs in week 2, brother.
Exactly. And playoff seeding with this new format, everyone's competing. And in closing, Jerry and Stephen Jones select these coaches in the NFL. And last time I checked, there is no check you can write to have a true elite innovator. Am I not wrong, Sky?
Say that again.
There's no check you can write for a head coach to be in there to, be a true elite innovator, correct?
Yeah, we don't even need that. We don't need a guy that reinvents the wheel. He just got to do what works.
And it's been years since I would believe the Cowboys had an edge on the coaching side of the ball, whether that be offensive coordinator or a true head coach that actually deserves the job. Not no backup quarterback, will promote you to backup QB, head coach, and now an offensive coordinator. I mean, look, okay. I mean, I'll say this. Look at Detroit. Yes, they had a losing season last year, and they started 0-1 this year. But you can't tell me they don't compete. They know their identity, Sky. And last example, Mike Tomlin. Interesting fact before Sunday's game. Mike Tomlin got everyone black Air Force Ones. And no cap, Sky, I really think that was a huge reason why Steelers defense showed out and was a huge reason why they won that game.
Mike Tomlin is one of the greatest coaches in this generation, in my opinion, like in the 2000s. Mike Tomlin is up there with anybody, in my opinion. Dan Campbell's still wait to be seen, but we love Dan's rah-rah situation. I love it, but at the end of the day, if Dan goes 4-12 again, who gives a damn? But Mike Tomlin is a great one to compare, and he's a guy that I always herald high in his coaching ranks, in my opinion, because he's yet to have a losing season. He can win with adversity. He doesn't give a damn who's out there playing quarterback, and he always puts out competitive playoff teams. Oh, by the way, he has a Super Bowl ring.
Exactly. And if Cowboys go 2-6, 0-8, these next 6 weeks, clean house. Put Dan Quinn as the mid-area head coach. Sorry, Dan Quinn. I'm sorry, Dan Quinn, to put you in this situation, but we got it. We're desperate here. And Sean Payton, give Jerry a call and basically be like, hey, I can get you a Super Bowl, but I need you to do things my way. Because that BS Mike McCarthy told you, that ain't working. And shoot, you want to win or you don't. Peace, Sky.
My man. Los dropped the mic. Yeah, it's a frustrating day, man. So we're gonna get it out. We're gonna get it out. All right, here we go. My guy from Reading, what's goody?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Cowboy Nation. And good morning to you too, Will Steele.
Thanks, sir.
I just want to say one thing. The defense, you got to give us kudos. They play. If you leave them out there all day, they're going to get tired. They're going to give up points. And if you look at it, for 19 points against Brady, we should have won. The offensive side is just terrible. Kellen Moore, he can't handle being an offensive coordinator. Send him to the Pee Wee League or minor league, but he's not ready for the NFL. And Jerry Jones, he's going to have to really think about Kellen Moore, just get him out of there. But that's all I got for today. God bless the show like always, and God bless you and your family. And thanks for representing PA like always, like you do.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate you.
Okay.
Let's move forward here with 803. Thank you for the call. Good call. What's up, 803?
What's up, man? This Kai I called a few weeks ago on you and Vacha's show. I'm not sure if you remember or not, but what I had to say is it may be a little controversial, it may be a little harsh, but
no, bring it. We need harsh. They need to hear it.
I'm not trying to wish death on anybody or wish for early exit.
Wait. If it's that harsh, wait a minute now.
No, like I said, I'm not wishing that. I'm not saying he should. I'm saying, everybody's eventually going to die. I just feel like whenever Jerry does pass on, that'll be the only chance. Because if he continues to run it like this, he's never going to see a Super Bowl. He's going to go to his deathbed knowing he made a big mistake trying to do it his way. Honestly, that's what I'm trying to say. I'm not trying to say, like, I want him to die or anything like that. I'm saying when he eventually does die, I think on his deathbed, he's going to ultimately know doing it his way did not work, and he should have went a different route. So, and that's what he deserves if that's what happens, honestly. He doesn't deserve another Super Bowl if he continues it like this. And a couple callers before said that this was an overreaction Monday. Nah, this is it is what it is Monday.
Yeah, bro.
It is what it is.
That's so crazy you say that because as you put together your Monday show, you automatically want to say overreaction Monday. But I was like, no. There is no reaction that you could have about this team, in my opinion, that I will look at you and say you're overreacting. I would look at you and say, I understand. I get it.
Right.
I feel you. Do I agree with every single last thing? Maybe. No, obviously, I've disagreed with some of the callers here, but I feel you. So that's not an overreaction to me.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's what I said. So, like I said, not trying to be controversial, not trying to wish death, but it's just not going to change unless – because I feel like Jerry just has such a grip on how this organization moves. Even though he took in the back seat to a lot of the roles lately, he still is the final say-so. And I'm not sure if Steven is taking over once his dad passes or whatever, but hopefully he sees a different vision for this team if he takes over and he doesn't move the same way. That's all I got to say.
All right, man. Appreciate the call, good brother. See you later. Probably. All right. All right, 704 and 201, and we good to go. What's up, 704? Welcome to the show.
What's up, Kyle Walker? This your boy from Charlotte, North Carolina.
North Carolina in the building.
Yes, sir. I got to say, man, last night I'm upset with our defense because I think I caught 2 balls from Tom Brady. They were so far back. I think I got 2 for 25 at least. I was open in Charlotte, nowhere near the game. And the thing is, man, like I said, Antonio Brown don't look too bad right now, Mr. Skywalker.
Oh, no, we can't. We bring Antonio Brown in here. Cooper Rush is going to get popped. Let me ask. Let me go back real quick because I got on my man Danny, so I got to get on you. Let me make sure I heard this right. Did you say you were most frustrated with the defense yesterday?
Yeah, I wasn't most frustrated with the defense, but I thought I caught 2 balls. They were so far back. Antonio Brown. Not Antonio, but the boy Brown. He's so far back, and he's getting ran by. How you 30 yards off when you get ran by?
Tom Brady only had 200 yards, 18 receptions. I will take that all day. Tom Brady only had 200 yards, 18 receptions, and he threw a pick.
I'm not saying that, but I'm not saying that our defense played bad. What I'm saying is, they so scared to get beat deep that they just giving up the simple stuff, and the defense ain't the reason why we lost the game. The reason why we lost the game is because, and everybody's not gonna like it, and everybody's not gonna agree with me, but our quarterback can't he can't read defenses. On 4th down, he thought they was in man-to-man. They was in cover 2. He threw the ball right to it. It's simple read and react for the linebacker. I just don't. I love Dak Prescott.
I mean, he's clearly a major part of why they lost yesterday. There's no doubt about it. He ain't the reason, but he is obviously one of the big reasons why. Yeah.
Hey, Skywalker, here, I know all Cowboys fans talk about we need to scheme, but you can't scheme for sorry players. If they suck, I don't care what kind of scheme you got.
So who's the sorry player? Because I'm just trying to see if you're going to say the quarterback was, because you're speaking of two sides now. You can't scheme for sorry players, but you lost the game yesterday because your quarterback. Which one is it?
No. This is what I'm trying to say, and I know everybody might not agree with me, but what I'm saying is Dak Prescott, I don't care if he got Amari Cooper, he need all those guys to be good. He need a good offensive line. He need all his players to be Pro Bowlers. To me, and it's not hating on Dak, but this ain't hating on him either. Skywalker, but I'm gonna be seriously honest with y'all. Guys, we were talking about in the offseason about TJ Vassar. These dudes don't even play. And my man and the little guy we got, Turpin.
He didn't play.
Welcome to the NFL, baby. Yeah, I mean not on offense. I'm talking about welcome to the NFL. This is the grown man's league. We don't want to get talent. We talk about scheme. If you ain't got talent, I don't care what your scheme is.
Well, you can't say you don't care what the scheme is, right? Because if you don't have talent or that kind of talent, your scheme then matters. And the perfect example of that is the 49ers. The 49ers didn't roll out 3 Pro Bowl wide receivers last year. They rolled out a banged-up offensive line for most of the season. What got the 49ers was schematics because they have a smart coach. Jimmy Garoppolo's not better than Dak Prescott. Brandon Ayuk and the other dudes aren't better than – huh?
I might have to disagree with you on that, brother. I think they're the same. I mean, I just see the same thing. Dak had a couple good – I mean, not saying that, and we can go do the stats on it. I just don't see Dak Prescott winning the Cowboys the Super Bowl, and I feel like we should go ahead.
If we're going to go ahead and go that far, I don't see, and I hate to say this, but I don't see anybody winning a Super Bowl in Dallas right now as we're currently constructed. I don't care if Jesus Christ was the quarterback.
Yeah, and I heard my boy, what's the dude, the old man Danny? He said we need Jesus Christ. No, we don't need to get Jesus Christ. You can get Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers. They just need one guy to be good. If Aaron Rodgers would have had CeeDee Lamb, it would have been a different story yesterday. It's just that, I mean, Dak. Hey, brother, can we not agree on 4th down when they were playing cover 2, and you know that he thought he just don't. I mean, it's just you got to be able to. Dak threw a ball to number 17. I guess I don't even know who he is because
Dennis Houston.
That Houston guy. Yeah, he shouldn't. I don't even want him on my team. I said he on my team, but he threw a ball thinking he's gonna be opening, and the read was to CD. If you'd have threw it to CD out in the flat, he was wide open.
Yeah, I totally agree. I totally agree. Quick question for you: how many Super Bowls Aaron Rodgers got in the last 12 years? With that one receiver. Another quick question. Tom Brady was on the Patriots when they started depleting his talent around him, and he left and went to a team with talent around him. So, like, you're speaking out to both sides of your mouth. I've said this on this. I've said this on this show multiple times. Dak Prescott is not Tom Brady. He's not Patrick Mahomes. He's not Aaron Rodgers. Yet we're rolling out talent that's worse than all of those guys by a mile. When you say he needs a Pro Bowler, he needs this, he needs that, my question to you, what goddamn quarterback does it need that kind of help to win a championship on top of the coaching, on top of your front office? So all I'm saying is you're not wrong. He needs help. But everyone does. Why do we continue to throw this at Dak Prescott as if this is some amazing thing? Like, he can't do this, he can't do that. Of course, hold on. Of course he can't. Of course he cannot.
This is not for Dak. Dak don't make the calls. But I did read a tweet.
Brother, you just told me you think Jimmy is better or equal to Dak Prescott. Come on.
Can I ask you one question, please, Mr. Skywalker? Still,
absolutely.
Where did Jimmy G play? What game did Jimmy G play in last year? And where did he eliminate Dak Prescott? Or
and you're making my point. It takes a total team effort from top to bottom. Okay? From top to bottom. Jimmy G was trash in that game. He didn't play great.
Hey, Mr. Skywalker, can I ask you a question? Last year, was the Cowboys wide receivers better than the 49ers wide receivers?
100%. They had no business losing that game, and they lost it. Your quarterback played poorly. Your offense played poorly. You're not getting me to say anything that I haven't said already about Dak Prescott. I'm not one of those dudes that can't. That can't criticize Dak Prescott.
That's the only reason I call into your show because I feel like y'all like 1980. I don't like to call into these other guys as just homers. I'm not just a homer. I love my Cowboys, but I want to win. That's the only reason I like your show a lot because you keep it real.
Yeah.
And funky. I don't want to be just a regular Cowboys fan to lose and say I'm just sick of the delusion of Cowboys fans saying that it's not Dak Prescott's fault and everybody on your team is not going to be a Pro Bowler and we're not your best offensive line ain't going to be the best players. It's not. It's just
You're
not.
right,
but
what you can't do in the NFL, good brother, is while other teams are elevating said talent around you, you're not. You're relying on. This is not a joke. Jerry Jones said, basically, he's just praying and hoping that fifth rounders outplay their position. Seriously, praying and hoping that undrafted free agents outplay their position. And instead of adding on top of the layer that you had last year, talent wise. You didn't do that. Let's just be completely honest. You didn't do that. You're expecting the guys down here to elevate, to come up here, right? Well, you can't see me right now. But to match what happened last year, the problem is every other team does that same thing with their guys, but they're adding talent on top of that, right? So
yes, sir.
It's an organizational thing, man.
That's what hurt me last year, Still, that's what hurt me last year is like I think Dak and what's his name, Cooper might have had a spout because I feel like as soon as Dez, the same thing happened with Dez. When they feel like he's not right or he's going to tell Dak that, hey, man, you missed me, bro. I'm wide open. I'm competitive. Dak take it a little – to me, I feel like he take offense to that. CD, I don't
know. I don't know that. So I'm all I can do is listen to you say that, but I don't know that.
Yes, sir.
Because I just haven't heard that.
Can I say that? Can I say that yesterday when you feel like a ball is supposed to be in front of you and it's behind you and we say – CD dropped it, but it's a 50-50 ball when you throw it on my back shoulder and the defender is on my back shoulder.
Yeah,
if you throw it in front of me, I should catch it every time.
Yeah, that's one of the things that everybody gets on. And I tweeted about that, and I might have tweeted about it prematurely, which is why I want to wait till this film comes out because I went back and watched the play. See, that's the problem when I don't have replay when I'm watching the games. I tweeted that out, and somebody said there was a defender in the middle of the field, so the ball placement had to be on the back shoulder so he doesn't get him killed. And I went back and watched. I'm like, okay, I see the defender that person's talking about, but the angle doesn't give me a great angle. So what I'm gonna do is when I get the all-22, I'm gonna take a look at that play. End of the day, though, like 88 says, the other 88, Michael Irvin, I don't need you to put it in between the eights. I just need you to give me a chance. And
I agree with that too because you are a pro.
Right. What I hate about that wasn't even the throw, wasn't even a drop. Both weren't great, right? From before we watched the tape, both weren't great. My problem was he pulled a weekend at Uncle Bernie's after he dropped the ball and put his head back and start whining and looked like my 5-year-old when I tell him I'm not giving him a rock bottom. Because he likes to wrestle. So he gets upset and he throws a fit. And I'm like, no, I don't feel like rock bottom. And then he's all, flailing around. You have to, real quick, CD Lamb has to understand, you the man in that room now. If you do that.
I think we gave him 88.
If you, hold up, I got you. If you do that, Dennis Houston's going to do it. Simi's going to do it. Noah's going to do it. All these guys looking at you because you said, I'm the man. I want to take this mantle. I want to be the guy. You out here flailing around and acting all crazy is going to give them the go ahead to do it, man. So, that's what happens when you have a young guy that tries to step up to be in a position he hasn't done yet.
Hey, still, I got one more question. I mean, two more things. Sure. The last thing I have for Dak is when I don't see how you can miss a player. We paying you all this money and you miss number 85, Noah Brown, wide open, and you throw it behind him. I just don't understand.
So again,
to me,
so again, see, this is why film and why kind of context matters. Again, I said the same thing, brother. I'm like, oh, come on, man, what happened on that possession? Well, went back and watched. Apparently, Dak Prescott saw Noah Brown sitting down, right? Pump fake to get the guy up so he can get an easy shot to Noah Brown. But Noah Brown then followed Dak Prescott on a scramble drill, so it looks like he's throwing behind him. And that's a bad thing all the way around. You don't have chemistry with these dudes. If you had chemistry with said Noah Brown and Dak Prescott that'd have been automatic. All right, I'm gonna sit. I'm in the zone. Here I go. Noah's not used to being in this situation. Dak Prescott doesn't throw to Noah Brown for over the years. So now you got Dak Prescott throwing behind Noah continuing to run, and it looks like a jumbled goddamn mess because it is a jumbled goddamn mess. But I digress.
And my last thing, Mr. Steele, is what's going to be my good excuse to tell this network I don't need my NFL Sunday ticket? I need a good excuse from you guys. Give me an excuse so I can tell them that $300, I need my money back.
Tell them it was all messed up. It was fuzzy. I wasn't getting the correct games. The scores wasn't right. They told me that it was 19-3, but it was supposed to be 23-3. So I'm gonna need my money back, man.
Hey, Steele, man, I always love your show, bro. Appreciate you for letting me call in. You're probably the only show I love calling into because I feel like you're not a homer. Of course, we love our team, but we want to win. It's about winning.
Indeed, brother. And I enjoy talking to y'all because. And I know our calls can get long-winded, but when we have conversations like this is what I love the best.
Man, I appreciate you, brother. Be blessed, man.
You as well. Good call right there, man. Good call because we agree on more than it may seem like there. But I always found that conversation so fascinating, and the reason why I'm always prepared for he can't do it with this group type of thing is because I've seen it with Tony. Like I've seen it I fought that battle with Tony almost identically. I said, I don't believe Tony Romo's the best quarterback in the league or one of the top 2, 3, 4. That wasn't me. I always said Dak's top 10, and I still believe that. I think you can win with a top 10 guy, but you need more. And I don't understand how as fans, we don't look at the league and see that is so obvious. It literally just happened last year. A guy with a historically bad franchise could never beat good teams. Terrible playoff record and performances. Goes to a team that is a complete opposite and wins a ring. Nobody looks at Matt Stafford as a Hall of Famer. Nobody looks at Matt Stafford as a top 5 elite quarterback. He got arm talent, no doubt about it. Lots of quarterbacks come through here with arm talent. Lots. So when people say Dak's not that guy, he's not that guy that can carry this group. He's not that guy that can overcome a ton of mistakes time in and time out, whether it be his own doing or the team's own doing. He ain't. I agree. I've never said he was. Now, I think he's a guy that gives you a shot every game. Didn't happen last game. I'll take that. Didn't happen last game. But the one thing, if y'all remember correctly, for those that have been here, the one thing I needed to see from him moving forward was to finish. Didn't get a chance to do that yesterday. But from a season standpoint, was to finish. So far, not good, boss. He was doing fine finishing his first 3 years. The last 3 years and yesterday, he did not. And I'm not afraid to come out and say that. And so, I don't like to call anybody a homer unless there is a ridiculously homer take. And we've had that on here a number of times, right? And no matter how much I like a guy, I do have to call it what I see because I can't fake the funk. I just can't. What? Barry Fish, is that real? Come on, man. All right, let's get to 201 to end the day. What's up, 201?
Scott, what's up?
What's up with you, man?
It's Park Street Life, Jersey City, New Jersey.
Jersey City in the building. Shout out to Jersey City. My guy Jesse from Jersey.
Yeah, all right. Everybody calling, we all frustrated. Let's state the obvious. Front office don't know what they're doing. Offense don't know what they're doing. Only football person we got in the front office is Will McClay. We all know that. Jerry Jones and them never gonna change. They always want to meddle with the offense. You could be good on defense, and they're not gonna tamper with the defense, but for some reason they always want to tamper with the offense. So I'm just getting stuff off my chest. I really ain't got nothing specific I want to say. The defense, I don't know why people keep mentioning the defense played. They got issues with the defense. We only gave up, 19 points, 1 touchdown.
Yeah.
Was on the field all day. What you expect from a defense? Like, I get one point that the other caller said, we kind of do play back a little too much. I wish we would press a little much, but that's the only issue I do have with the defense, that we would press a little more, just a little more.
Yeah, that was, I'll tell you this, that was one of my things I was hoping for coming into the game, because I felt like we can get pressure on Tom Brady, and we did.
Right, but he's going to get it out quick. So we should be pressing.
That's where I was about to get to. So if we're going to get pressure on Tom Brady, to get home, you got to get up on these guys, whether it be the tight ends or whether it be the wide receivers, because it makes them redirect and throws off the timing.
Right.
Yeah.
The other obvious thing is, we know the Joneses are who they are. They basically are marketing geniuses. Okay, let's give them that. But they know nothing about football. Okay, so the only way, and this might be far-fetched because Dallas fans, we so loyal to our team, that's to a default. We gotta hit them at the bottom line, the money. We gotta stop supporting the product that they putting out on the field. I know it's hard because we love the Dallas Cowboys so much, but this is the only way they're going to even notice. They're going to even notice if we stop buying products, going to these games. Like, this is going to be the only way.
Oh.
Because, like you said, to your point, there's no quarterback on this God green earth that's going to succeed in an organization that's so poisonous. It's not going to happen. And it's always going to be, you can say we need a coach, that's going to stand up. But you know what? A coach of that caliber is not coming here. And it's always going to be a cupcake coach that's going to come in just to get a check. It's always going to be that. So what's the other solution? It's the fans.
So let me
That's
ask you.
the only solution.
So let me ask you.
We are the solution.
Did you watch the game last night?
Did I watch it?
Yeah.
Yes. Packed house. Yes.
Have you been watching the last 15 years?
Yes.
Have you attended any games or bought any merchandise?
Last year was my first game attending. I went to the Giants game at Dallas Stadium. I'm going to the Giants game Thanksgiving.
I got you. I asked you these questions because if I get it, hit them where the pocket's hurt and everything like that. But I hear that a lot. I hear people say that a lot. But those same people turn on the TV, watch that game. The same people go to the stadium, pay for the tickets, and they're in that game.
Absolutely.
Same people buying the hats and the jerseys and all that stuff for the Dallas Cowboys. Yeah. So it sounds good, right? It sounds good.
And that's why I said it's hard because.
But are you doing it?
In our heart.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm not going to fake the funk to you. I'm going to watch no matter what. I love the game that way, and I love this team that way, and it sucks because it's like a toxic relationship. So I would never say that because I would never do that. So I'm not going to say something that I can't follow through with.
And
but I hear that
I
all the time. I just wonder how many people actually follow through.
It's like an impossible reality. It's like a reality show, actually, because we know what's going to happen. We know it's going to be drama, and we're going to still watch it. We're going to still watch it. The offensive line did not play bad. We had the hiccups, but Oh, it's one other thing I want to mention. This is how much, and for all the people that's nitpicking about this and that, it's common sense stuff that's going on the field that we all right, Dak was not sharp at all. That's point number one. So if you know your quarterback not sharp, why not run the ball? Zeke gets 7 yards on first down. What we do second down? Throw the ball. It's common sense stuff. Like, this is common sense. Run the ball when your quarterback not sharp. You know, your receiver's not getting open. Why you not run? I don't care if you got a punt, but run the ball. Zeke sitting on the sideline for like 3 series straight, and Pollard is struggling in pass protection.
Get it out, man.
Zeke was productive. And you talking all this, we're going to run the ball, we want to be physical, but you doing all these cute-ass plays.
Yep.
Like, this common sense football stuff, like, if you watch football just a little bit, you would know better. You would know that
So happens. Brother, that's what happens.
They let the defense.
That's what happens when you have an offensive coordinator who's been groomed by one person and then given the wheels, given the keys to. It used to be a Ferrari, now it ain't. But given the keys to the car and is never driven before. They're figuring it out. They're on the road figuring it, and it ain't just like, you know, how we learn how to drive in a parking lot. He learned how to drive on a highway in LA at 5 o'clock traffic. It's hard to do, man. It's hard to do. But hey, dog, appreciate the call. I appreciate the passion. We're gonna keep it moving here, man.
But but help me out with this thought though, Scott.
In closing,
you would think as much as they meddle in the coaching, put their 2 cents in the coaching, that they would tell him, because I know they probably gave him the keys, but they got something to do with it. It's like a remote control car. He ain't got full control. So why not tell the man, you know, we got to run this ball. We want to be physical. This is what we want to do. You keep saying this is going to be our identity, but you're not putting it out on the field. So in closing, man, Cowboy fans, just keep your head up, man. Pray on it. Just pray on it.
All right, man. Appreciate you. I gotta laugh at that one, because last week on Vacha's show, we were joking about that. Well, we just gonna pray about it, baby. That's basically what Jerry was saying. Well, we're just gonna pray about it. 1 + 1 = 3. Yeah, I know we're gonna pay for a price. We're gonna pay a price for having a rookie out there and not having all the weapons, and it might be a little price we might have to pay, but we'll win because of it. They paid the ultimate price, man. The ultimate price. All right. Tomorrow, we'll have a more thorough look at the game. I hate watching tape after a game like this, but it's necessary so we know what the hell's going on and what to do moving forward. Dak or no Dak, still got to figure this thing out, right? And I know for probably, I'd say about 80 to 85, maybe 90% of this fan base, season's over. Are you wrong? Probably not. But we're going to try at the very damn least to figure out week to week how to sneak out a dub, unless we just full tank mode. Once we get into full tank mode, which some of y'all already on tank mode, which, hey, is what it is. Then yeah. Be draft time. Oh, my God. Week 1. God dang draft, man. But I wasn't a very fun show to talk about today, but I appreciate y'all for being in here as we get this frustration out. Hit the like button if you enjoy this content. I know there's a lot of new people up in here. If you don't, that's cool. Hopefully there's better days when we actually win. Subscribe if you really enjoyed it and you are new here, and share this with your friends, families, and foes. Again, tomorrow will be, I have to find a different name for tomorrow, maybe Tape Tuesdays or something like that. But we'll take a look at the tape today, And then tomorrow, maybe we'll chop some things up and we'll talk about it on air. We'll continue to dissect this game and what happens moving forward. And we'll get some more news on the Cowboys and talk about that as well. But tune in later tonight. Mauricio Rodriguez will be live, A to Z Sports Primetime, talking about the I said Tape Tuesday. Toxic said Tank Tuesday. Damn, that might be a thing at some point. Tank Tuesday. Nah, not yet. It ain't looking pretty, but we're going to try to look at. Here's what I told Mother. I said, now I already kind of adjusted my lens this year, but I really got to adjust the lens to look at things differently and to dissect things differently, because it's not going to be a great next 2 months, I don't think. But hey, hope for the best. If we get a dub, I will bring back the cookout, but we might not have a cookout for quite some time. But all right, Cowboys Nation, hit this button, and we going to get the heck up out of here, man. And I'm sorry I didn't get to all the super chats, by the way. I appreciate them. Tomorrow, maybe I'll start the show off with it, but we're not going to no 3 hours today, man. Apologies for that, y'all. I'll get the super chats tomorrow. I promise you. We out of here. Love you. Peace.